Within this video, we're going to be looking at Backlot from COD 4 Modern Warfare and comparing it to Backlot within Modern Warfare 2019, also known as Toxic Backlot within this new Season 3 update. There's a lot of different things that they did change, and I'm going to highlight a lot of the important, impactful changes that you see within this new map. Now, you could already guess what Modern Warfare brought for this 2019 version of Backlot. It's the same sort of stuff you saw with a bunch of the other maps just in Backlot, but there's also some new things as well that are specific to Backlot, and we'll highlight those within this video. So for one, we have to look at the most important one. They changed the map. They added a new section. So up on screen, this is the original minimap from COD 4 Modern Warfare. This is Backlot. This is what we know Backlot to look like. Now let's look at Modern Warfare 2019 Toxic Backlot, and you see here pretty much the same. Every other location is almost exactly the same except for the top right here. Here's a circled version, exactly what they added. They added this little back area. They did something like this on Crash as well. Some of the other maps, Shipment, I'm pretty sure Vacant, they didn't add any new areas, but apparently for Crash and Backlot, they decided to add these back areas. For what reason? I don't know. Does the map flow better? I'm not so sure. Here's some specifics. I recorded some private match gameplay of what this little area looks like. If you played Backlot in Modern Warfare today, I played it today. I went through this area unknowingly. Didn't realize it was a new area, but it seems like maybe it helps me a little bit flow through the map. Maybe it's another spawn location that was needed to help the actual spawns in the map. I'm not so sure, so let me know down below if you noticed it, if you think it's a big deal or not. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal at all. If they changed a huge portion of the map, they completely rearranged the center of the map, then it wouldn't be a remaster, it would be a complete Backlot remake, and who knows, they could have either made Backlot better or worse than it was before. So I think this little addition here, just like in Crash, really not a big deal. Now, some other changes, which I think probably will cause a bit more well, first, the clear change is the name. Obviously, we're still going to call it Backlot. No one's going to call it Toxic Backlot, but it is Toxic Backlot. It's for Modern Warfare's story, Modern Warfare's setting, set in a different location. I don't really like those details because it's not too big of a deal. When you're actually hopping into the game and playing, you're going to say Backlot. But another difference here that they have implemented into a bunch of the other maps they brought back from old Call of Duties, except Rust and Shipment, I'm pretty sure. Those two maps are completely the same for the most part. What they've been doing in Vacant, in Crash, in Backlot, adding doors, and doors are something, and you're seeing in this gameplay here, I don't know how much I'm using the doors and how much they're impacting, but it clearly makes a difference as to how you actually enter different buildings and locations, your lines of sight. And I think a huge part, especially with Crash, I'm not so sure if there were some doors in Vacant, but like it wasn't really that noticeable. Crash, it seems like the doors made a bit more of an impact on your actual gameplay when you were in that game, and with this map as well, it's the first day, so who knows, but it definitely seems like it will make some sort of noticeable impact on the gameplay. Now, that being said, some people like the doors, most people dislike the doors, but for me, is it a big deal? You have to come down to that. If you dislike it or like it, is it a big deal? At the end of the day, no. I don't think it impacts the gameplay too much, and if it's slightly negative, slightly positive, for most people, it'll just average out with your enjoyment of the map. So, one last major thing with this map here, and also, by the way, in the background, we're looking at Toxic Backlot from Modern Warfare 2019. After I go through this last change, we will then look at COD 4's Backlot and see how much of a difference. I also want to note the graphics, how much of a graphical upgrade you're seeing here, and also how the game plays as well within this past game, because this next change here definitely also changes the gameplay. It's the new jump up locations and also you being able to mount and lean. So obviously with Modern Warfare, mounting and leading is specific to this game. You were able to lean in Ghost, but mounting, pretty sure you were never able to mount in any of the other Call of Duties. But this game here, mounting, leaning, and then a bunch of the other different jump up locations, there aren't too many that are new, but it definitely impacts the flow of the game. For one, this map, I heard someone else comment on this. I'm not so sure what YouTuber said this, but I felt it as well. I was playing in this game, and it seemed a bit more campier than Backlot ever was before. Now, this is just a symptom of Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare, every map is naturally going to be more campier. People like to go into buildings, into windows, and with these older Call of Duties, they have a bit more buildings and windows to actually camp in. And with Modern Warfare promoting that so much, that's what you're going to see. But also, mounting and leaning is going to make that even worse. And a bunch of the other jump up locations within this map doesn't help anymore. Sometimes it's nice, it makes the map flow a bit better than before, but then it becomes a bit more hectic, a bit more crazy, and the lanes sort of aren't as clear as they once were. But again, it's definitely very important for you guys to comment below, because I'm going off of what I see and my experiences, but you guys could have completely different experiences here as to what you're seeing with this map, especially with the jump up locations and Modern Warfare's features such as mounting and leaning, how much it really is affecting and impacting the map. Now let's look up on screen at COD 4 Modern Warfare Backlot, and just to look for a second, the graphical improvement from COD 4 to Modern Warfare 2019 is really insane. I know that Backlot was in Modern Warfare Remastered. COD 4 Modern Warfare Remastered, what was it, 2017? And if you compare 2017 Backlot to 2019, I guess 2020 Backlot at this point, it's probably less of a difference. I understand that, but if we're looking really, this video is a comparison, differences between COD 4's Backlot and Backlot now over 10 years later. It's clearly such a huge upgrade, and I think for now this game definitely suits Backlot. Backlot is a pretty solid map, and I thought originally when the Season 3 maps were leaked and Backlot was going to be one of them, I didn't really understand why they were bringing back Backlot. If anything, Backlot was just a map that it was cool, but we already saw it within Modern Warfare Remastered. Did we really need it again within this game? But it actually fits Modern Warfare's playstyle pretty well. It's almost a better version of what Backlot was back in COD 4 Modern Warfare. Now, some people may disagree. If you're an OG and you played COD 4, you're gonna think COD 4 is better regardless, just because of the weapons, the gameplay style, it's simplistic, so I understand that as well. But if you like both of the games neutrally and equally, or you like Modern Warfare better, you could see why Backlot is actually a good addition to Modern Warfare, and why it makes sense that they brought it into the game. I just want to read some stuff here on Backlot for the new game. I'm going to keep the old gameplay in the background. It's honestly nicer to look at the newer gameplay, so I might switch back to that, but I just wanted to show you guys COD 4 Backlot because this is a comparison video and we do have to compare. I did go through most of the major changes. Comparisons, we know it's the same map pretty much, but the last thing here, let's look at some of the actual things with the specific location that was changed. They highlight the destroyed building on Activision's sort of Intel website. The Intel website goes through a bunch of different stuff. It goes through all of the different parts of the new multiplayer maps. Pretty sure every multiplayer map in Modern Warfare has this sort of thing on their website. And this is the general location, I guess, of where the change is. They talk about the destroyed building. The destroyed building is sort of right next to what we're talking about here. So it gives us a bit of detail as to what is going on here. So this partially destroyed building may be a fixer-upper, but to those looking for sightlines, this zone is prime real estate. Although several bombed out walls leave you exposed to the elements, the views down Backlot Center are rivaled by very few other locations against someone sniping from the construction building or someone attacking the gas station during objective game modes. The destroyed building acts as a great counter sniping or overwatch position. Be advised that there are not just 2 stairwells up to the second floor of the building. With some parkour, a dumpster out front can be mantled on and used to access the east side of the sniping perch. If you are trying to snuff out a sharpshooter here, it may be worth considering that unconventional route up to the operator's level. So it's actually very cool. If you're not playing multiplayer every day and you don't know every specific location on these multiplayer maps, it does give a lot of interesting and in-depth hints and details as to what to do to get to these, or I guess infiltrate, to use a Call of Duty term, into these different locations. Very cool there. I'll probably try to look at that with other maps, but with this area, it makes it a bit more easier to infiltrate because you have that back area sort of as leverage. Before, you didn't have anything. It was just the edge of the map, the end of the map, I guess. But now you could go back there. That's a spawn point as well. It makes the gameplay of the map a little different, and it probably just slightly, ever so slightly devalues that location because you have more room for people to spawn behind you and more room for people to just get in the building behind you from that new back location that we talked about earlier within the video. So that's pretty much it here with Backlot, COD 4 Modern Warfare versus Backlot in Modern Warfare 2019. Let me know what you guys think about this video. If you guys did enjoy, leave a comment below Backlot if you watched the whole video. And I'll see you guys later.